say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
This is obviously a very important day, a very special day, and one that we as a university and as a country celebrate for all the wonderful reasons that we celebrate it.
On behalf of the entire university community, I want to welcome you to Western Illinois University's Veterans Day celebration, and I really appreciate all of you being here today. I really want to thank everyone for gathering here to pay tribute to the many courageous men and women who have bravely served our great country. We all know that it's because of those individuals that we are able to stand here actually today and to celebrate Veterans Day in a free nation. Their sacrifices clearly should never be forgotten for all they've done for this country. As I've frequently said in many previous presentations, my parents were Holocaust survivors who saw U.S. soldiers after the Second World War as their saviors and liberators. And my wife's father was a veteran of the Second World War as well. And so clearly in our family there is great respect for what veterans have done. So I ask all of you actually, when you notice an individual in uniform or see a military license plate or a bumper sticker proudly displayed on the vehicle parked next to you, that you actually take a moment to thank that person for his or her service and for the remarkable work they've done for our country and for the remarkable work they've done for us. And we also need to recognize that Western Illinois University is proud of its many students, faculty, and staff who are veterans or who are currently active members of the armed forces. We salute all of them and thank them as well, and Western has had a long and distinguished history of serving veterans and being served by veterans as well at this institution.
We're gathered here today to remember those who served, those who fought, and those who gave the fullest measure of their devotion to this country. On behalf of the students, I would like to thank all present and past military personnel for all you have done. Today we take time to embrace the heroes of our wars. Today is about honoring. However, honoring first starts and foremost with a thank you. As simple as those two words sound, the meaning behind them is unfathomable. I, along with many of us here and around the country, cannot begin to comprehend the amount of service, the amount of dedication, or the amount of sacrifice you veterans have given to this country, to this community, and to this campus. The inability of most of us to understand exactly how much the veterans of this country have given pays tribute and homage to the type of character comprising these individuals. Thank you. Thank you. Not only for what you have done and what we are aware of, but for everything. Every painful day, every turmoil, every heartbreak, and every sacrifice you have endured that has never received any recognition. Thank you to all the veterans, especially those who have come in to positively affect Western Illinois University campus, for your ongoing support. I am honored to be able to call this institution my home. However, our home, which is home to over 12,000 students, would not be the same without the veterans in this wonderful community. It is impossible to walk from one end of campus to the other without encountering at least one veteran or future serviceman, or to attend a football game and not be made aware of the immense support the Veterans Club give our athletic teams. Ronald Reagan has said that veterans have given us a lesson in living love. Of the Vietnam veterans, he stated, "For those who came back and those who did not, their love for their families lives. Their love for their buddies on the battlefields live. And their love for their country lives." Let us be vigilant today, and let today serve as a living token of that love. Thank you to all veterans, all servicemen, guardsmen, and reservists for all that you have done and all that you will continue to do.
Today is about remembering those who have served our country. Both past and present, brave men and women have dedicated themselves to a country they believe in. Some served in a time of peace and others in a time of war. Either way, their devotion to America is unmatched. Today is no time for politics or media bias. It is about honoring our troops. It is important to remember those who are fighting overseas as we speak. Every day their lives are at risk. Their daily trials and tribulations are beyond words. For those that have nothing but complaints about our country or our military and only see what is wrong with it, I challenge them to travel to a third world country or even open a history book. Our daily freedom is something we have become accustomed to, and we expect nothing less. Most of us have never experienced otherwise. Let us not take this country for granted. Remember those who have fought and died for the very freedom we all enjoy. We need to be reminded that freedom isn't free. We will now present the plaques of appreciation to our two honorees today. First, please welcome Garry Johnson, Bill Hoffman, and Marge Hood from Oasis. They were kind enough to help get the plaques for our honorees today. Please welcome them. For our first honoree, Beth Stiffler. Beth was born the year women received the right to vote. She enlisted in the military in 1944, and after 6 weeks of waves, women accepted for volunteer emergency service. She would eventually become a midshipman in the Navy. She was commissioned in the U.S. Naval Supply Corps by Eleanor Roosevelt in June of 1944, and she was among the first women officers in the service. She went on to receive a master's degree from Western and a PhD from the University of Illinois. She worked at WIU from 1957 to 1982. In her last 4 years before retirement, she became the first woman to be appointed chair of the Department for English and Journalism. Ladies and gentlemen, Beth Stiffler. Our next honoree, John Moon. John is a 94-year-old World War II veteran. While in the Marines, John served in the 5th Division, 2nd Battalion, Company E, which is the same division and battalion that put the flag up in Iwo Jima. On the 13th day on Iwo Jima, Moon's sergeant and corporal were either killed or severely wounded, and John was promoted to corporal in the field, where he would be in charge of a 3-man team called a fire team. John was later shot by a Nambu machine gun and was sent to Pearl Harbor to recover. Soon after, he was accepted into the officer candidate school. Before he could finish, the war was over and he was sent back home with a Purple Heart. The following names are friends of the WIU veterans that have recently laid down their lives while serving overseas. Brandon Burry, TJ Terrazas, Adam Kaiser, Robert Baldwin, Jacob Lowell, Skylar Patch, Justice Bartelt, Kevin DuPont, Marcus Glimpsey, Lorenzo Washington, Matthew Vincent Dillon, Clinton Miller, Bud Mike Cote, Kevin Oramus, Daniel Hansen, Kyle Russell, Sergeant Smith, Sergeant Patch, Jacob Frazier, Greg Watson, Tony Mattioni, Matthew Medlicott, Rahulio Ramirez, Lance Clark, Ernesto Sinceros, Pete Giannopoulos, Jacob Hayes, John Thornton, Corporal Mahalo, and Lance Corporal Tapia. Let us please pause for a moment of silence.
thank you all for showing up today and showing support for our veterans. Beth and John, thank you for your amazing service over all the years, not only in terms of serving our country, but serving Beth, our university, and John, our community. You've been wonderful leaders and wonderful examples of what this community is all about, and I thank you for that. Everyone, thank you for coming out today and being a part of this. Kathy, thank you for Kathy Meyer from the Veterans Center and all the Veterans Club folks who worked on to put this together. Thank you. We appreciate your hard work and effort. Again, veterans, thank you for your service and all of the things that you have done and are currently doing to provide for the greatest free country in the world. So thank you. Thanks for being here. Enjoy the rest of the day and celebrate along with those who are who've already given great service to this country. Thank you.